Stay still, the thoughts of you are sinking. Point stands, but I'm still overthinking. You know you don't really call me like you used to, but I know you try. But I've heard you've been here before. But I won't stay the same. It's just what I'm used to. Some things don't ever change. I know it's me and you, but I don't stay the same. I'm just adjusting to. Some things don't change, but I'm designed to be held on to.
All right.
Happy
Hello.
Friday. And there goes the dog.
Hello. Yeah. I mean,
I might have to go place her somewhere else.
well, we did ask somebody to take her with her.
I said
with
if you went in the room.
Oh.
Let me go take her.
Oh. So I'll just vamp here. We just started,
Well,
and she's leaving.
You could do sponsor.
So yeah. Hello, Keith. Thanks for joining. Yeah, she just had to move the dog, real quick. We have a very, what do I want to say? An old dog. She's getting old. Her heart's large, so it tickles her throat. She has a lot of those kind of issues. She's blind. So, as soon as we do something at the table, she comes over and starts hacking and stuff like that. So, without you guys hearing that, I mean, that's some strange ASMR, I think. So, we're going to take care of that. So, I am going to start off with what's up. I don't know. I don't know how to do this.
I did it.
Oh.
I'm back.
Now
I'm winded.
she did promise me she wouldn't put me on the spot today, and
No,
when we started,
I didn't. I said
I
I
won't
wouldn't
push your
any
buttons. That okay?
Ginger,
Maybe that's a button.
Ginger pushed the button.
Maybe that's a button.
I got rid of the button.
Well, welcome if you're watching. Welcome if you're listening.
All right, let's start Friday.
Oh, I didn't get to the sponsor yet. I just
We didn't do
disclaimer the
sponsor.
dog.
We do this first.
I know I disclaimer the dog.
Salud.
Slancheva. Mm-mm.
All right. Almost clapped real loud. That would have been rude.
I've been fine. It's like a sound check.
Sound check. Sound check.
So yeah, we'll get into what's up, but first we always got to talk about Lever Consulting. Check them out, leverconsulting.com for a free consultation. Mention Sarah or Scooter, or Sarah and Scooter sent you, and you can ask for Lucy.
Oh, you can.
Well, yeah, it's her
I'm
company.
I'm saying hey in the chat.
So.
Hello. Oh, yay.
Oh, Urel's there. Yes, Urel. And yes, you got your prize pack today. We did send out some of our prizes that we've been doing. We've been a little bit behind.
Yes.
Just because life. And I know of all people, Urel understands that.
Yes.
So, yeah, we had that go out. And we'd like to find a way. We still have to order a couple shirts from you, Urel.
I know.
One's probably is going to be for Urel.
Yes.
Because we want to order one for you. For sure, and we still need to get one for Valerie.
Yes.
So I'll reach out to you, Urel, so we can get. And if you don't know Urel, get Yaya's embroidery.
Oh, she's the best.
Yeah, it really does really good work. We're not wearing them today.
No.
We're lazy.
That is actually the reason.
That is the reason.
I was like, this was the easy shirt to put on.
Yeah, so it was just one of those things. But she does make our Advise Me Not shirts, and so we get them out to people that'll wear them. I know what Bailee and Ryan have a couple,
Yeah.
And then we have ours. That's about it. We need to get more.
Did the beer make you really burpy?
It was more of I got all sweaty
Oh.
because of the shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just one of those days. You know the song.
You don't want to wake up?
No, you know the song.
Yeah.
But yeah, check out Lever Consulting, and check out Yaya's embroidery on all the socials.
Yes.
I'll label. I'll put them in the links.
Nice.
On the video and on the podcast part. So wherever you listen to it, Google,
The Googles?
Apple, Spotify,
Macintosh.
all those good things. We don't have a lot of followers, but we have we have faithful followers.
Yes.
So
This is really close today.
well, I was trying to set your iPad in the middle so you'd sit in the middle.
Oh,
And
that's
I think,
smart.
well, I did. I put the microphone right in the middle and that in the middle. So it has already moved a little bit
Yeah.
off, but I was like, it started off right in the middle and you sat in the
Oh,
middle.
Look at that.
I was just trying to
Genius.
Pavlov dog you.
Oh, well, it worked.
I was trying to Pavlov you.
Now I gotta move over, so it's. Just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
You always gravitate the other way, actually.
Oh, that's funny. I feel like I'm always this way. All right.
It's untrue. Sponsor 11 Consulting. Giveaway question. The new giveaway question is naming everybody that was at the table
Yes.
or on the podcast, whichever one to say at the table, either saw them or heard them speak live
Yes.
that day on episode 28.
And I think last week you gave away half. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things.
So a couple left.
You can't ask us, but you can cheat. Well, not cheat. You can use your resources and ask other people
Right.
that
fair.
watch the show. That's a good
If
way
they
to
were
do
on, they cannot win.
it. Yep, but if you were, because they are also fans of the show.
Right.
That's as far as I'm going.
Yes.
And they were on the show, so those people can't guess because I feel like that's not resourceful.
No, they
That's
can guess.
cheating.
Yeah.
So
Well, they were-
that's our question of our current one. Who was at the table in episode 28?
Yes.
Who was on the podcast? Everyone. You have
Yes.
to list them all. There were
not
7
the
total.
dog. No.
Six
total.
total. 6 people total.
Yes. All right, you ready for this? Can I push the button?
If you're pushing it in order this time, that'd be
I
great.
think I am. Good thing. Oh man.
There was a clue right there.
Oh, you and your clues at this
Oh,
point.
our sounder even has a little clue in it.
Well, like one person left. You've given everything else
Yee.
away.
It's very true.
Ay, ay, ay.
Good thing.
You want me to go?
I only have one.
Okay, you go first then.
Yeah, because you didn't write down anything before the show, which is really different for you.
I wrote things down.
No, I'm just saying.
not as much as I
you're
normally
usually,
do.
yeah, you're usually a lot more. I tease her. Let's be real. I tease her about showing up and being the talent. It's just the tease. I get frustrated. Nothing to do with her. It has to do with the buttons that I didn't push or something I didn't plug in. It's my fault. But I like to, put blame and point at others and blame them. So, she usually has her whole sheet filled out. I have like 2 notes on it. She still probably already does.
I have things.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
We
I
already
some
have it filled
things. I
out.
have some things.
So
You ready? What's your good thing?
mine
We're moving. I'm just kidding.
is
We're not moving.
we're moving.
We're not moving.
Wow, it'd be
Someday.
a surprise to say that on
Right.
the podcast to me. I'd be like, okay, good to know. What'd you get in the mail?
Just kidding.
Either an eviction notice or a bunch of money.
$1 million check. Oh no.
So,
My chat's off.
you're getting very close, Urel. She's guessing that the
Ooh.
pup was not in it.
No, she probably was.
She
But she
probably
didn't
was.
say
So
anything.
but you couldn't
So
really
we
hear it.
didn't
The
count.
pup. There is someone else in there. But you have the relationships correct.
Yes.
So, we do need names, not relationships. So,
And we've said all of them on here.
yes, and we've said them on multiple times, but you still have to kind of put it together. The reason we're kind of doing that is because I want this to be a community builder.
Yeah.
So you're going to get to know other people. That's the whole point of what we do. So that's a good thing right there. You're all chiming in and getting people talking about other people, not behind their back, talking to other people. Locked barrel. My
yeah.
good thing, because we did that on Saturday.
Yes.
We went to a whiskey event, Highland
Park.
whiskey, which is kind of our favorite area of
Yeah.
Ireland for
It's not Irish.
I mean for what?
It's Scotch.
Yeah, for Scott. We remember when we tasted we went to that whiskey tasting that had a map
Yes.
and everything, we kept going back to the Highlands.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of I don't know if it's our favorite brand, but Highland Park is our favorite genre.
Yeah, it's our
Let's say
favorite
of Scotch.
area, our geographical
Yeah.
location for Scotch.
Yeah,
for the
just
Highlands.
it has the right kind of
Peat.
creative peat. And I say creative peat because peat is different,
It is different.
you know?
Sometimes you're like, that's an ashtray.
Yeah.
Other times you're like, ooh,
Yeah, like what was it? Johnny Walker.
oh,
Ashtray.
Johnny Walker.
I don't know who can drink Johnny Walker.
I don't know either.
No, we had it at our wedding.
Because somebody liked it.
Somebody wanted it.
Was
I
it
can't
Slim?
remember. It might have been Slim
I think it was.
because he was really into whiskeys and
Yeah.
bourbons at the time. So it might have been him, but it just wasn't my favorite. But we weren't really, I mean, let's be real.
Right. I think if we drink it now, we might think differently of it.
I don't think so.
We don't know, though.
Well, I'm not going to.
We have to try it. It's like coffee.
It's like going back and drinking Aftershock, you know?
Aftershock. What the heck is Aftershock?
Well, besides the festival.
Right.
It's a cinnamon whiskey. Before Fireball was cool,
Yeah.
it was called Aftershock.
But you like
It came-
Fireball.
Oh yeah. But Aftershock came in like this kind of white square-ish kind of bottle. And I had a really bad Aftershock and Jaeger night.
Oh, that sounds disgusting.
So for about 2 straight years, I didn't drink any hard alcohol at all.
Right.
But then when I reintroduced a couple years after that hard alcohol a little bit, would not touch Aftershock and would not touch.
I don't think you do Jaeger now.
I would do Jaeger. I would do Jaeger ice cold.
Eh.
Ice cold Jaeger is very delicious. Tastes like licorice.
I know.
Kind of like what's the other one called? The really high end one that's supposed to be a hallucinogen.
What?
You pour it over sugar.
Oh. Nope. I
Yeah.
don't know what it's called. But yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's very similar to that.
Some of the
Absinthe.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm not really into that kind of stuff anymore.
Back on track.
But
The event.
the event itself was amazing. I'm
Yes.
gonna get to the shout outs later. There's one in here that's part of it, but it was really a different type of event.
Yes.
Now, I have also a couple hoity-toity complaints. Like some people are a
It's
little.
not hoity-toity. They're valid complaints.
I mean, just some people just will never know how to check their privilege.
Let me just say what happened.
We're doing the good things. We can get to the rant.
Oh, it could be a rant. Okay.
That can be a
You're-
rant.
You're right. Let me move
Okay,
that down here.
we'll leave the good thing as the good things. But there were the way they did it this time, instead of like a speech and talking about Highland Park,
Yeah.
they had a station where you'd go up there and you could ask them all the questions and do all the tasting, like almost individually.
Yeah.
Which was super rad because it's more like you were at Highland Park
Yes.
to me.
I liked it.
Right?
Too. Yeah,
When
that
you
was
go
good.
to a wine tasting, that's
Yeah.
how you do it.
Yeah.
But they also had multiple stations where they had the Highland Park 12,
Yes.
12 year, was used in every single drink at the 3 different stations. 4, because downstairs the bartender always
She made
comes
one,
up with
yeah.
some every event. So she had one. You went upstairs, and then there was 3 other ones.
Yes.
And you go up there, and they made their own drink, and they were all local, like bars
Yeah.
or
Restaurants.
clubs or whatever restaurants.
Yeah.
So that was super dope because some people were lighting cinnamon sticks on fire.
That was pretty cool.
Other one was just shaking things, going crazy, and making me cough from this pepper spray.
Oh yeah, that
It
was
really
cool.
felt like pepper spray.
Yeah, it was pepper
Which it was.
spray.
It kind of
mean, it
was.
was,
Yeah. It was a
Spray
a
of ground
tincture
pepper. Yeah.
of spray. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really was. But we'll get to that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I spent it with, one of my favorite humans in the world.
Who?
You.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
checking.
not the random people that ran into. Not Whiskey Grill.
Jeez. James. Whiskey Grill
Whiskey
James.
Grill James.
And friend.
And friend. We don't know her name. But we run into Whiskey Grill James every shindig we go to, seems like. Yeah, that was my big one because we made it a commitment. It was a long day for you.
Yes.
Wasn't so much for me
Yeah.
because I've chosen in my life not to make long days. But yeah, what's your good thing?
So I'm going to piggyback off of yours. So the Lock Barrel event was very fun. But my favorite thing, because I feel like people sometimes they see the price of these events and they're like, I don't want to do that. So it was only $50. I shouldn't say only. It was $50, but it included food. It included as many tastings as you wanted, and you got a bottle to take home for $50. And I'm like,
How much is a bottle normally?
I think they said it was like 35, 40.
Okay,
Right.
so $10 to $15 got you all you can eat.
Yes.
It was what kind of
It
food?
was like Hawaiian
It was
and
like a Hawaiian
Filipino.
Filipino
Yeah.
fusion kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they had a roast
They had a
pig.
whole pig.
They had a whole roast pig there.
Yeah.
They had lumpia there. They had desserts, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And all these fancy drinks that were included
Yes.
in this $50.
Right.
So if you're looking at whiskey events and you're going, wow, $50 to go to
Right.
a
Go to the
Look-
ones we go to.
Yeah,
We
well-
don't go to the ones where it's $50 and you only get like 4 tastings. We get ones that there's food and things included because it's
And-
more fun that way.
yeah, and just look at what's included. You're sitting
Right.
there and go, if there's a bottle included, you should
Right.
go.
Exactly.
I mean, at that point,
'Cause
just go.
This was like our second one where the bottle was included.
Was it?
Yeah, because
I thought the other one was a huge discount.
no,
was
remember
one.
the one that the last minute one, Doers. Remember for
That was included?
was it Doers? It wasn't Doers.
Doers we bought, but it was super
No, there was
inexpensive,
somebody-
like 50% off.
Oh
or
no,
something.
you're right because it was one they took the how much you spent on the ticket and took it off the cost of a bottle.
Yeah.
That's what they did. That was Doers.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like you literally if you bought a bottle, you got your money back.
Yes.
I'm like, that's brilliant.
Right. Anyways, Lock Barrel was super fun. And then the same day we had a marching band competition. That was also very fun.
You say we, I didn't go.
Well, we as a community had a marching band competition.
Is it a community?
It's a group of people
It's a hodgepodge of
who all go to the same thing.
Hmm.
So that was fun. That was a good one. It was short, thankfully. It was like a 6 a.m. to a noon event. So that's kind of nice. It's over and done with. They didn't do amazing, but they didn't do terribly. So that was nice. I think the kids are feeling defeated at this point because usually by now in the marching band life, they would have won more
That
trophies.
is true. That's
And they have
their
not.
norm. That is their norm.
And it is hurting their feelings right now.
I'm taking a picture of you.
Oh, why?
I just wanted to show you.
Oh, no.
See, if you look at me,
Yeah.
do you see how I talk into the mic?
Yeah. Oh, am I not?
This is how you talk into the mic. Like you're about 3 inches
Are you saying you want me
to the
to
left.
move
Well, no,
it?
just you don't just you could just do this. Just turn it. It
Ooh.
turns. There you go. Look
Okay.
it. Right? It's like
Well, because in the camera, it looks like I'm spot on.
oh.
it.
I mean, no.
It look
Not-
mine looks closer than yours does.
True, but it's actually it's not. Like I'm like maybe 3 inches from the microphone, from the end of the microphone.
Am I quiet? Is that what's happening?
No, it's not. It's not about quiet. It's about losing. It's about filtering. There's a sound thing that happens that I don't fix. So if it's harsh on your ears, I apologize to
Oh, it'd
anybody
be
else.
me. Oh,
It may be. It could be me too, because I could have some settings wrong. But at least I'm using the mic properly.
okay. Am I good now? Am I centered?
No, you're to the right of it, but it's totally. Yeah,
I can,
yeah.
right
You're
here.
too far that way. There you go. That's
Oh.
see how it's aimed right at your mouth.
No.
You see this part? It's like a gun.
Yes.
squirt
Oh,
it,
so
like-
you want this aimed at my mouth? I feel
This
like
right
this
here.
is like pre-show things.
Well, I've been telling you this for what 2 years? I think it's
Okay,
about 2 years.
I think I have it.
Yeah, you just moved it.
Well, I moved it down
Yeah, which I didn't say anything about height at all.
off the rails already. Okay, my other good thing. I got to see my oldest sister and then my 2 nieces and my nephew because I haven't seen them in a
That
bit.
is true.
I did see them in September, but
That's been a minute.
I know. And then my little niece Jackie is so friggin' cute, and she makes the saddest sad face. And she got in trouble, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so sad." And I did this, and she's like, she ran as fast as she could and jumped in my arms. I was like, "You're so cute and evil at the same time."
But she's also the same. How old is she?
2.
2.
Yeah.
She's also same kid that 2 months ago?
Yes.
No, it was about a month ago when we all got together.
Oh, it's the same day. It was in September. It was right after the party. Remember?
After what party?
After the birthday party, Little Orphan's birthday party. Then we had Raya's thing.
Right. I'm just saying. What do you mean same day?
It was on the same day.
Oh, I understand that. I said what day?
The
You
night.
said, jeez. I said what day? Same day. You're like, no. What day was it?
The night.
Same day.
Yeah. well,
Same day as Orville's party.
It was the same day.
That's-
I mean,
I
we're
got
saying
you.
the same thing.
No.
September 9th.
Okay, because so that's a little. But she was also the one that was doing like karaoke.
Oh my gosh, it was so cute.
Like
We should post those videos.
that was hilarious. Like
Yeah.
this is a 2-year-old that as soon as I got her, because I was like, hey, who's got a microphone that hooks up? So they had one. It's like, cool. Who wants to tell jokes? I was like, who wants to? She got up there and over and over, she just started dancing, go, let's go.
Yes.
And
So
I'm like,
cute.
I didn't know you could say that that well. And then she'd come up and get in your face. Let's go. I'm like, what? This is the best hype person I've ever met. So
She's
yeah.
cute and bratty, but cute.
Well, I think
She's a kid.
she's a narcissist.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a kid,
Right.
you know?
And then I know I feel like I've said this like almost every week since we've got it, but Rock Band is still on my list of good things because
We still play it at
we
least
just
a couple times a week.
pop it out, and then sometimes the kids here is playing, and they'll come out of their rooms, like at the come little hermit crab rooms, and play with us, and it's nice, and they leave, and then it's fun. Then we stop playing.
Yeah. Rock Band is like, it should be. I don't know why it went by the wayside as a game
either.
to play. It just doesn't make any sense to me because it is one of the only, besides what was it, Mario Party?
Yeah.
Which is a good one, but it's like has 1,000 games and nobody can decide on which game they want to play. Blah blah blah. But this one's like you get to push some buttons.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if you're not good at guitar,
We should play today and then post a video. We should go live today and play Rock Band.
wait, well we can post videos, but
We can go live on Instagram.
well we could. I don't know if I'm ready for that.
There's a song I want to sing. I heard in the car, and I was like, I forgot how much I love this song.
Is it on Rock Band?
I don't know. I have to
Oh,
check.
Well, don't. Now you're gonna be like, make yourself sad.
That's true. I won't say it
Rock
loud.
Band, it really is because you can. What is it? You can play up to 5 people
Yes.
at once.
If you have 2 mics.
Yeah, 2 microphones, guitarist, bassist, and drummer. You can have 5 people playing.
I still
Playing
can't
the
play
same
the
game by
dang
itself.
guitar and bass.
That's fine.
My
She just
my
sings and-
fingers don't know how to do those things. I could do drums. I got medium on drums like
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah, that was good.
And
that
it
was
wasn't
enjoyable.
terrible. All right.
No, we passed.
Yeah,
So
we
they didn't boo us off the stage. Oh, that was a message we got from. I got from Ariel today. Was in a group with me and Bailee and myself, and here we talk about Rock Band. It was a Guitar Hero thing, but it still says the same thing. She sent us a picture of a post that said, "How old were you when the Guitar Hero crowd booed at you for trying your best?" That's what Ariel texted me, like an image. Somebody posted that, and she responded, 30. Because it happened like last month.
Yep. Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah. So yeah, it's still something that's fun. Playing video games will always be playing board games, video games. If you know me, it can bring community together quicker than anything.
We still have to
if
do a
done
game
properly.
night. We owe like
We
7
owe
people a game
lot
night.
of people some game
I
nights.
think it's more than 7, but
Yeah. It's
There's like a
couple dozen.
list.
I think it's a couple dozen.
I know. I
by
feel
now.
bad. You should get on that.
Yeah, I know.
I don't play
That's the whole
games.
point. Is I have to get on it.
Well, I mean, realistically,
This is when I make the joke about her being the talent. Because I am the one that plans those things
you
to put them all
enjoy
together.
planning the things, and then I just get food for the things, and then I'm like, yes, welcome to our home. Scooter has planned this wonderful game night for us
Welcome
all.
to the circus.
Well, you should plan something.
I
At least
should.
3.
I am talking about it right now. I was talking to Ruth
Oh, good.
just the other day.
Yeah.
So we got to get some people together.
Yeah. It's time. All right, that's all I had. Those are my good things.
It is time.
It's time. Can I push the button?
If you're pushing in order, yeah.
I think I am. Rant of the week. Rant of the week.
Rant of the week.
You're gonna not like me, but I'm gonna say this real quick. I had to say thank you. My sister texted me and said I look thinner. I was like, I think it's just the shirt, Beck. I don't think I actually
She
am.
text you.
Yeah. I don't think she's in the chat. I think she's just listening.
That doesn't make any sense then.
But you could be on YouTube and not be logged in, so you can't chat.
Oh, I'm saying if you're only listening, how could she tell what you look like?
No, I meant
It's
she's
like
not.
you look thinner. Not watching the show,
That's
but
how-
you totally look thinner.
That's why that's how you give a compliment. I can't see you, but you look great.
Jeez. What a great face for comedy.
Okay, here's my rant before you take it.
What?
The friggin'
Zombie dog.
no locked barrel event.
Okay.
Okay, so
Oh, that's a whole
we
nother
got
level.
to this event on time. We were on time. We got our welcome drink downstairs. We went upstairs. We got our table. We put our things down in our seats. Actually, mine was on the table. I took everything out of my purse, but I left my purse. And Scooter left his hat on the table to let people know that that's where we're sitting, because that's what you do. Because there's not name tags. So then you have to get up and go get your drink. So if it takes a long time, what else you gonna do? It takes a long time. You just have to go through your thing. Somebody had the friggin' nerve to move our stuff and then sit in our chairs.
Yeah, they had to move it.
They moved it to sit in our seats. And I'm like, what the heck is wrong with people? Who just moved someone else's stuff?
This is literally the mentality of a colonizer.
I was so mad.
So, if you know what I mean by colonizer, yes, they were white. Colonizers, and that's the mentality of a colonizer, realistically, because they're just like, look at this land. There's people living here. I'm gonna move them, and I'm gonna live there.
I want the seat now.
That's what it. So I call them colonizers from the rest of the night on.
So annoyed.
Yeah,
I
it was a little much.
I couldn't even go over there. I was like, nah, I'm gonna need to go get our stuff.
And I looked them both in the eye, and they go, "Oh, sorry about that," and I walked away as I picked up my stuff while I was looking at him in the eye.
I don't
like,
understand.
You're not sorry about it.
No, you're not.
I mean,
who sits
no.
on someone else's seats?
well, yeah.
It's annoying.
So that was a lot.
That was my rant.
That was a lot.
Yep.
And the other rant, I mean, not the event was great, but there is an age thing going on, right? I'm a little older for this crowd, for the people that were there.
Were you?
Yeah, I think so. I think
Okay.
there were 30s and 40s. I'm like, I went over 50 now. I'm over the
Oh,
clicker.
that's true.
No, but the host, if he didn't know you, he didn't really come up and talk to you.
That's very true.
And there's a small community that show up to everything.
Yes.
They call them alcoholics. And so they show up to all of them,
Yeah.
right? And it's a small knit group kind of thing. So if he didn't know you, he really didn't give you the time of day.
That's very true.
And it wasn't just me that he was doing it to, it was to everybody. He only came up and talked to like 4 or 5 people. And I'm like, but you're like the host.
Right.
And I didn't know that till the end. I just thought he was kind of like one of the employee kind of workers because he was only talking to a few people.
Yeah.
And then he got on the microphone and I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
I was like, you're the guy that kind of just brushed me off and the next guy off because your buddy was there.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a weird host.
I agree. But we've noticed this before. We've seen him at these things before, and he's the same way at every single one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he only talks to people he knows.
So I feel like that's a little bit of just the hop on the back of that rant. But
People.
mine is zombie dog.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I mean, we have in our back, like our back porch is kind of shared with a lot of other ones with walls,
Right.
and stuff. Good. I mean, if you know housing complexes, that's how they're built. But somebody like 2 patios over or whatever has this dog. So it sounds like a small dog,
Yes.
and it sounds like it's already dead,
Yeah.
and it's come back to life, and it won't die. It won't, like, it's part of the undead. It's just the way it
this
barks.
dog. Yeah.
It sounds like it's dead,
Yeah.
right? And then sometimes they give it a glass bowl
Yeah.
on concrete.
Yes.
So sometimes you get this glass bowl getting pushed around, and
yes.
like that's pretty close.
Oh, it's pretty good.
That hurt.
But over and over for hours on
Oh,
end.
we're not talking 5-10
No.
minutes. We're talking like it could go on for at least an hour to 2 hours.
Yeah. Seriously.
And I'm like, nobody's obviously home.
Right.
The dog's on the back patio.
My thought is, are they not home? Because it's not all. It's like somebody has to go somewhere for a couple hours. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know what's happening to this poor dog.
And that's my kind of my thing is like, if you have a dog, know how to be a dog owner.
Right.
We've known multiple people in our lives that are close to us. Some are close, some of them are not. That just, why do you have a dog?
Right.
Right? If you don't have the time, the effort, the money,
Yeah.
whatever, just don't get a dog.
Yeah.
If you can't
They're a
afford,
lot.
if you can't afford to take them to the vet,
Right.
don't get a dog.
Yes.
If you don't have time to pay attention to your dog
Yes.
on a daily basis,
Right.
don't get a dog.
Yeah.
Get a cat.
Cats don't care. You should get a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be a cat person. That's totally fine. But I feel like there's so many people that think dogs are cool when they should have
Yes.
just got a cat
I agree.
or a fish.
Oh, fish. Those are easy to kill, unfortunately.
Well, I'm just like, dogs don't just get food and then
No.
you move on.
Yeah.
Cats, they can. I
They'll
mean,
do
they
whatever
still
they
need.
want. They'll
Yeah, but
figure it out.
but they need attention too. But not they'll
Yeah,
come
but
to you.
they'll say they'll get attention.
Oh, they get attention from you.
Yeah.
But a dog won't ask for attention.
Right.
And then will chew up your stuff,
Right.
escape your yard,
Turn to a zombie dog.
turn to a zombie dog, poop everywhere.
Right.
I mean, if you don't have the time, just don't get a dog.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agreed. Okay, I have one more rant. So I took Lisa's car in today, and I don't understand the people when we're out in public who have to have a conversation in the waiting area on speakerphone. I don't understand why. And then I don't understand why you feel like when you're on speaker, you have to yell like the person can't hear you. Like you have to match their loudness. And I don't understand why they're yelling.
I understand that, but are they under 80 years old?
She could have been close to.
All I'm saying is some of those I'll give them a pass, right?
She was
Okay.
older.
Okay, but some of the like, I don't even say 80, but like 60, 70, 80
Yeah.
in this current day and time.
Yeah.
They haven't had a cell phone their whole life.
Right.
They don't know really how to operate one anymore.
Yeah.
And they're going blind. They got to turn it on. The speakerphone's the only way they could do it because they hold up their ear. They can't hear it.
Ugh.
All I'm saying is they're.
I know
and
what you're
I'm not,
saying.
and I'm not saying
just
that's
drives me crazy.
that's not a stereotype or a stigma, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
It's like once you get to a certain age, your hearing goes, your
Right.
eyesight goes. It's totally fine. That's why I asked the age.
Yeah.
If you're under 60,
But teenagers do this crap now.
like I'm saying, if you're under 60,
Yes.
God forbid you buy some headphones.
Well, the crazy
God
the
forbid you
crazy
put it up to
thing
your ear.
is the ones who have headphones and they're still like FaceTiming out loud. I've seen people do it like in the line at the airport. I'm
Yes.
like, you literally have headphones like hanging
They
here.
always have headphones.
And then you're I don't understand it.
No, we're talking high schoolers at this point. Always have headphones of
Yes.
some sort.
Right.
Whether they're the AirPods
Yeah.
or it's back to being
Big
cool to have the
over-ears.
big ones
Yeah.
on there. They connect to your phone. Use them. But you also got to look at it as like you've seen our children do it.
I know. I don't get it.
And I lose it. I go, "Where's your headphones?" It's the first thing we've mentioned all that here before. Is like, "Where's your headphones?"
Yeah, I don't
'Cause
understand.
to me, that's like it's polluting me.
Yes.
Like you're forcing me. You're coming into a room and forcing me to listen to your conversation.
Yeah.
And they goes, "You shouldn't be listening." I was like, "Well, then don't talk out loud in front of me."
I know I should have joined the conversation. Like, oh, Nana.
I know. They'd be like, "Why are you listening to my conversation?" I was like, "Why do you have it on speaker?"
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah, it drives me crazy.
It irked my soul. I don't know why it bothered me so much, but it did. It just did. That's all I have.
Oh, that's it. That's it for your rants.
Yeah, today was kind of okay. This week was weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a weird week.
more than just weird.
Yeah, that's my shout out. So don't mark us. It's a weird shout out. All right, what's up? What's up?
Oh, we're going to the what's up.
Yeah, you have to say it because there's no rant.
What's up in you or area?
So this week, do you have something?
Yeah, just for this area.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm only doing Sacramento.
Okay.
So the Kings are playing again.
Yes.
Basketball's on,
basketball.
and all of a sudden, it's okay to be a Kings fan.
Because they did well last year.
Right. And I don't think I'll ever be a Kings fan, but that's just who I am.
No.
Just who I am. Okay.
Do it.
I'm old school Sonics.
So you're not a fan of basketball at all anymore.
No, I think I liked the Lakers back in the 80s,
Yeah.
but I was a kid. So I don't really, not really into basketball. But there is an after party at the Darling Avery,
Oh, yay.
which our buddy Lions of Paris will be spinning.
Tonight?
It's on the 29th,
Oh.
Sunday.
That's when the Lakers are playing. Ooh.
In here with
Yeah.
the King. Oh, that's probably.
Can he
why.
get his tickets? I'm just kidding.
It's an after party at Darling Avery.
I know, but I'm
not at
saying
the stadium.
I'm
It's
saying
got nothing to do
he
with
might
it.
know people.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Chad, if you're here, if you're listening. I'm just kidding. Mine was Sacramento, really everywhere. It's like Halloween parties this weekend.
Mm.
So if you're not going to one and you want to, Probably find one. There's like a gajillion, like everywhere.
Find a Halloween party. That's what's up in your area.
Find one.
There you go. Have fun.
Send us pictures. I want to see people's costumes. We don't dress up for Halloween. Like I never have. Also, I don't think even if I did do Halloween, I would dress up because it seems like a lot of effort. And you've seen me. I don't do those things. But I like to see other people's outfits. Like my friend Arilia, I think her and her son have gone to like 4 or 5 different parties and every outfit's different. I'm like, commitment. There's no friggin' way.
Yes, but some people have that.
They enjoy it.
That's what they like to do.
Right.
They like to have a goal and set it up.
Yeah.
And do this. I mean, Ariel's going
Oh, she's going
insane.
She's going full. I can't wait to see theirs.
She's going full Star Wars
Yes.
this year.
It's gonna be cool.
She's got all the characters lined out.
Yeah, they're turning their car into
That's gonna be
the whole
something.
ship. It's crazy. I can't wait to see that one. That's gonna be cool. So find a Halloween party, and then Sacramento, we're having an auto car show this weekend.
Oh yeah,
Which I actually like car shows.
auto car.
I think they phrased it better than that. Obviously, I want to say international car show.
Auto car.
I don't know anymore, but there's a car show. If you like scary movies, Five Nights at Freddy. Five Nights at Freddy. Five Nights of Freddy. Five Nights. FNAFs.
Freddy's.
It's called FNAFs for the young people. And like every young person I know is like obsessed with going to see this movie. I don't want to because I don't like to be scared.
We're not in. That's not a genre that we're.
Genre.
Just not a genre
No.
we would. I don't know why. We just never.
Yeah.
I've never gotten into it. You never got into it.
No, I don't like being. I was talking to Naomi about that. She loves scary movies, and I'm like, oh God, no. Why do I want to be scared?
I like scary movies that aren't just gore and jump scares.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I like the ones that are a little bit more like screw with your mind.
The last scary movie I think I saw was Arachnophobia. Still scares me.
Oh,
to
that
this day.
was a good movie.
That still messes with my soul. That and Birds. I've rewatched Birds since, and I realized how fake those birds look.
but as a kid,
But it doesn't. It didn't like fix the fear I have of
Right.
birds. I'm still friggin' terrified of birds. Ugh. The other day, the death crows came back. Like right before it started raining, they were so loud, and it was like filled the trees again. And I was like, ugh, the death crows.
you know you were done.
Oh, I hate those things. Hate them so much. All right, that's all I have. That's all I got.
Oh, there's also the What's Up in your area, the Elks Lodge here in Sacramento. There is it's tomorrow. I will not be there.
No.
I'm definitely not competing, but
Jiu-jitsu.
yeah, some people that I've actually, I'm not training very much right now, but at least I'm training every once in a while, so that's better than zero. But the people that I do know, there's like 3 of them that I know.
Yeah.
That are part of a 5-man team that will be there.
Hopefully they post some things. Because what time is that?
4 p.m.
Ooh. It's like right when the party starts.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's like literally right when
Yeah.
we're gonna be out of town. And,
Yeah.
So yeah. So good luck.
Yes.
Anthony, Carl, Colo. I don't know the other 2.
Is Rolly rolling?
Rolly.
Yeah.
He's one of them too.
Yeah.
Rolly. I forgot.
I thought I saw Rolly up there.
Okay, so there's 4
Yeah.
that I know. I mean, 3 of them I know okay. 2 of them I know pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that's really cool that it's a full team, and it's people that don't normally compete.
Yeah.
They're mostly trainers at this point. So to
Yeah.
see the trainers,
They haven't done it in a minute.
yeah,
Right?
and this group of trainers that they all train other people at Buena Vita.
Yeah.
So they're all training other people
And now they're
9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Right.
I know, because I thought Carl said he hadn't competed in like years now.
Oh, it's been a lot.
Yeah.
It's before I knew him. And then I think Anthony was 2019, 2000.
In a minute. Oh, it's
You
gonna
know.
be good. Well, maybe
So it'd
watch
be
the
really-
after clips.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be streaming somewhere. Sometimes it is.
Usually is.
Sometimes it depends on how
Mm.
big of a
Event.
competition it
Yeah.
is.
All right. Nice.
So I'm excited about that.
All right. Ready for this?
Oh.
I have all the buttons today.
Shout out!
Woo!
All right.
Okay, I have 2. How many do you have?
2.
Okay. So my first one is,
2.
it's a weird shout out, but here's what it is.
Oh,
So I've
put it
been-
on your camera.
Okay.
There you go.
So I've been listening to this podcast called, I want to say it Shits and Giggles, I think. Is that what I said it was? SHXTS and giggles. I don't know. Anyways,
But they edited it so that it wouldn't be on the podcasting, but you just said it out loud. You just said the SH word
But-
on our podcast.
but it's not because it's an X and not an I.
But you
Shicks.
you didn't say it that way.
But that's you. Anyways, that's what it's called. And
They
they
just went to PG-13,
Oh,
people.
shoot. Sorry.
Just kidding.
Anyways, so it's like these two friends. I have no idea who they are, like at all. And sometimes their accent is so thick, I have no idea what they're saying. It's great. But the thing that they say that I love so much is they'll be telling a story, and if they don't want the other person, like they don't want them to say too much about it, they're like, "Say less, man. Say less." And I was like, oh. Or if they want someone to shut up, they're like, "Say less." I was like, why is that? So I'm like addicted now. I told CJ this the other day because he was saying something and he was getting on my nerves. I'm like, CJ, I'm gonna need you to say less before you get grounded. And I was like, oh, why is it just such a good phrase? I have no idea why it is, but now I'm obsessed with say less.
That's a great one.
I know.
I've never
I want to put it on a shirt. Say less.
because and on the opposite side, not the opposite, but similar, is I really hate it when somebody goes, huh? What?
It's big in this house.
It's huge in this house. It drives me out of my mind.
Yeah.
And I don't say that.
No.
I say, can you say that again? Say
No.
it again. I go, say it again.
You say it again. Excuse me?
Yeah. I go, say it again. Excuse me. I don't say what? Huh? I don't, that's just not in my system.
Yeah.
And I think it's because there was a time I did say it like that, but it was like, I started to get annoyed
I say
with
all
that
the time.
sound. Yeah. You go, ah?
Huh?
I'm like, oh, you're that 80-year-old lady with on speakerphone at that point.
Never.
But no, I feel
Anyway,
like
that was my first odd shout out, but I was like, I'm like
no,
obsessed
it's
with
good.
this saying.
No,
now,
it's
I
good.
don't
I
know why.
think it's cool to find a new way to say or present something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're not learning how to communicate better.
Yeah.
So,
All right, what's your next one?
mine was the Shangri-La in
yeah.
Fair Oaks. It was one of the places that was at the Highland Park whiskey event. And what they call it? An altered penicillin?
Yes.
Whatever a penicillin is.
Yeah.
But
To
almost killed me. He made like
Pepper
some.
spray got him.
He made like some. What did he do?
He took a bunch of peppercorns and soaked them in water and then like ground it, filtered it, and then put it in a little tincture thing and then use it as a spray for the glass.
Yeah, it would spray the glass and so it'd come out really peppery,
Yeah.
really spicy, and but not to the point where it's like you couldn't consume it.
Yeah, no. It just
But
balanced out the
Just
sweet.
don't breathe it.
Yeah.
Like you gotta
He
walk
sprayed it
in
and he was like I was like, well, don't do that.
I did it every time I went over there too. I went over there 3 times.
Yes, he did.
Great. Whoever this apothecary was, I didn't get his name, but it's not even a drink that's at the Shangri-La.
Right.
But my shout out is more of I've never been there. I've never been
No.
to Shangri-La. But for a restaurant or bar to give somebody the freedom to just create any concoction they wanted
Yeah.
and bring it to an event. And it was top notch.
It was really good. I like that
Top
one.
notch. It was my favorite drink of the whole night.
I agree.
Because it wasn't too sweet, it wasn't too sour, it wasn't too peppery,
Yeah.
and it wasn't.
It's super balanced.
Yeah, because everybody else's seemed really sweet.
Oh, the coconut
it's like
one
it's like
was
stop.
massive.
When it comes to a mixed drink doesn't mean put a bunch of sugar in it,
Right.
right?
Not just all fruit juice.
Yeah, it's a mixed drink.
Yeah.
Mix it with something besides sugar,
Right.
right? So, but this gentleman, I can't remember his name, but also I was like, man, I love these guys who followed him. They followed us right back,
Aw.
like on Instagram. I was like, we have like next to no followers, but they thought we were cool.
But we might eat at your restaurant.
Yes, we might. Well, definitely having some drinks.
It's where again? Fair Oaks?
Yes.
Oh, you're driving. You know where that's at, right?
No.
It's the chickens.
Oh yeah.
Like in the middle of friggin' there's no like you have to
Chickenville.
take it's like between 2 freeways. So it's like 30 something minutes to
Is
get
it
in there.
Close to Hangtown.
Not quite. I wish you were joking. That's an actual
Yes.
It's an actual other place here. My other shout out is like it seems like it has been a really tough week for like a lot of people that we know. Like a really tough
Yeah.
week. maybe like 2 weeks. And I don't know what's going on. And I'm not talking just like wars and things. I'm talking like day to day. It's been a really rough week.
But I mean, with those kind of things going on there, that can put you kind of over the edge if you're already having those moments to see just doom and gloom.
Yeah.
You know, because we're consumers of social media. So I think maybe that has a little bit to pushing it a little further, maybe.
Yeah. So my shout outs to everyone who's just having like a really, really crap week or last couple weeks. And I'm just like, just remember, like, it ebbs and flows, you know? Once we're on, it's going to flow in a minute. Just hang out on this stupid ebb and it'll get back up there. But yeah, it's been a really crappy week for a lot of people.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they just don't know why.
Yes.
You know, and that's okay. But don't forget to... I was talking to somebody, nobody specifically, but I was talking to somebody yesterday. It was about being the person that always reaches out to the other people.
Yes.
You know, always going out there and then kind of hunkered down and said, you know, I'm going to take care of myself and those kind of things just for a little while and see what happens and those kind of things. And nobody reaches out to them.
Yeah.
Like they were the person. And that can be really devastating.
Yes.
You know, because that happens to me more often than I wish it would.
Yeah.
You know, if I stopped reaching out to most people, I wouldn't get a text.
Right.
Just I wouldn't. And I don't understand. I think that's what's kind of pushes me over the edge is like, I just want to be heard. I want to be noticed.
Yeah.
I want to be recognized. I don't need to people make a big fuss, but like respond to me once in a while.
Yeah.
Reach out to me first.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
You know, like ever. There's some people and you kind of got to look at that as like, so keep your circles kind of small.
Right.
The people that will reach out to you and you reach out to them, those are people that will help you fill your cup. That you know, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
They build you up, those type of things. So yeah. So I think that's been a really rough one too, because I think especially in this day and age, we're only like a year out of being shut in our house.
I know.
I mean, we're only about a year and a half.
Yeah.
About where we could even go outside again.
Seriously.
Right? Legally.
Yep.
So we have to remember, we have to relearn what it means to just not take other people for granted.
Yeah.
And reach out to them. So I'm not as good as I used to be. I used to be freaking phenomenal at it and went to the whole community. And now I've been
You've got to shut in.
Well, when it comes to community, I was more concentrating on, I talked to you about it with my family. Because I was like, okay, I've got some family I didn't know about. Right. So I'm going to try and keep in touch with them and and even that kind of honeymoon is over. And, you know, so I reach out to whoever I can. If somebody crosses your mind and you still have them in your phone, then reach out.
Yep. I agree.
It's not, and I'm not talking about your exes.
No.
Those should have been deleted. But
because I remember, I think I told you once, I was like, I had a dream about my cousin, like something weird had happened to him in my dream, and you're like, you should message him, see if he's okay. And I was like, I should message him, see if he's okay.
And it doesn't mean that he's not okay.
Right.
That just means something in you is, whether good, bad, whatever.
Right.
Something in you is thinking about your cousin.
Yeah.
That's it.
You know what's funny though? When I think back on that, I really think that's the time when he found out he was having a baby and we didn't know.
Ha.
Like when I think about the date, like it was literally about that time that they would have been pregnant.
Like you having X-Men skills.
Becca said in the chat, my nephew's having a rough week. I think both of my nephews are having a rough week. It's been a rough for little 7-8-year-old boys at school.
I mean,
rough time.
But it's also, love you, Rebecca, but it's your first 7-year-old boy, and
it's only getting worse.
That's the times I had to go to the school and sit down with people because of my son and pull him out of school for 3 years and homeschool him because it got so bad. So yes, I think we talked about that too. Other like we have adult children. So sometimes when we see other people like, it's just the hardest thing in my life, and I'm like, cool, because it's prepping you for when it gets harder.
I'm like, let me hold your beer for you. You're not done.
It was like it's prepping you because you couldn't
Ooh.
handle what a 15-year-old could do right at this
Right.
point.
It's building your patience for when it's go time.
Right. So I mean, before I go into my last one, which I don't, maybe I won't, but the Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, hilarious.
Like if you have small children and you think it's the worst thing in the world, just watch it.
Yes.
It's
a very funny comedy.
It's very, very funny.
Can't remember what it's called.
What's it called? Dark Pale.
Yeah.
Dark Pale.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's getting better as he gets older, because it's not as cheesy.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more assertive.
He has 5 kids.
Yes.
Bless his soul, because I would.
That's one of those things. Like I have 5 kids.
Yeah, that's true. And not all at the same time.
And not I wasn't very present for a couple of them, realistically. So it just, the things that can happen. Because at 7, you can still grab them by the arm and pull them somewhere and or sit them down. You still can.
You still have a little bit of physical control if you need to.
Yeah.
When they get to be their.
Because I think the statement. What was the statement that he said? Sit down because I'm upset with my kid, right? But I also don't want them to turn out to be this and that kind of thing. That's as a small child.
Yeah.
Then they become a teenager, and you go, prison isn't worth it.
Right.
I don't want to go to prison for murder.
Oh my gosh.
That's how far it can go.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah. I don't want to say I've thought that, but I thought they're gonna make me go to jail. This is the hardest moment of my life so far.
Had those moments. We've definitely had those moments.
Teenagers are great. Have 5.
And when they're adults, they're not easier. It just becomes different.
I think it's
But
because you don't have to.
My definition of an adult. Sure.
Right. Oh,
so,
yeah.
So when they become an adult, like self-sufficient, all that kind of thing, you're like, okay, that's not so bad. But there's this strange area between 17 and 20 something.
Yeah.
Where they still can treat you like crap and expect everything from you.
Yes.
And they're an adult.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh God, no. It's very.
It's fun.
No.
Yeah.
You have to do that on your own. You have to actually say what you're doing.
Yeah.
You can't just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot.
Save us. I'm just kidding.
But my last shout out. I am gonna get back in on the mat on Monday or Wednesday, maybe both. There's this company. I think maybe I've mentioned them before. Kaizen Grappling. Yeah. Maybe I've mentioned them in here. They're a local company here, Kaizen Grappling, and I think Kaizen. I think it's something about improving every time. I think that's what it stands for.
Okay.
I could have that totally wrong, but they're an actual nonprofit, a 501c3. That all their products, the proceeds go towards that and funding. It's for jiu-jitsu, of course. But you buy products from them or just straight out donate to them, and they use that money to get like troubled youth and kids and get them proper, like good structured martial arts training. So they have more confidence. They have more, community. They're not left out and that kind of thing. So I was like, had to support them.
Yeah.
And she's like, but you don't need another piece of something you don't wear. But I don't care.
Could have just donated.
I did that too. Because they didn't want to charge for shipping. And I was like, I'll just give you a donation.
Lord.
Well, because I know what it means to have a small nonprofit 501c3 in Sacramento area. It's rough.
I agree.
It's probably rough.
Like 8 gajillion of them.
It's probably rough everywhere.
Right.
But I mean, there's so many here that just want you to just give them some money.
Yeah.
Well, what are you doing with the money?
I agree.
And I think this one has an actual like structure, and it's not like they charge a bunch of money for their products. They're actually less expensive than if you bought them from somebody else. So it's like, just doesn't makes sense to me. So
Good
Big
shout
shout out
out.
to them.
I liked it. All right.
I like the local stuff.
We are going to get down to some potatoes.
What? What's that mean?
Advise me not.
I think the best thing of this whole episode right now is not only did you push the buttons instead of me pushing the buttons, you push them in order.
That's right.
She was on fire last week. I don't know what she'd taken. I don't know if she got into like, what do they call it? Catnip? I was going to say that too. I don't know if she got into the catnip. I don't know.
I told you I wasn't going to push your buttons this week.
But that doesn't mean you don't.
But the thing is, so like last week, I mean, I don't ever try to push your buttons. I just let
sometimes.
I just let things fly and see how it goes. I'm trying to control myself this time. I'm doing really well. I'm proud of myself.
You could go a little off the rails.
I look thinner. Oh gosh. Okay, before that, we're gonna re-up.
Oh, and yeah, before
go ahead.
let's do that. It's like we tried out something new. She picked up a Mosaic hops beer.
Is it good?
It is quite tasty. It kind of tastes dry hopped, but it's not. Well, it doesn't say it is. Which I don't even know what dry hopped is.
Me either.
But I know the taste.
You throw them in dry instead of wet.
I think it's something else. But that might have something to do with it. Okay. So Urban Roots here in Sacramento. So it could have been part of the shout out too, but it just, you said re-up. And the best part is she picked this up going, okay, it's got gold on it, white. I think is that Benjamin Franklin? Who is that?
That was Alexander Hamilton, maybe.
Thomas Jefferson?
Some dude in a wig.
I don't know.
Sunglasses.
Do you know who it's going to be? That's got to be Amadeus Mozart.
Oh,
gotta
that
be.
makes sense.
Because now that makes sense. He's got sunglasses on, whatever. What, I don't know if you can
This
see.
one.
Whatever. But it's called Rock Me All Mosaic.
Yes. It's 100% Mosaic hops.
But
That's
it
good
just
shit.
finally clicked when I was looking in the face. I was like, it's got to be.
It's
Because-
some old guy in a wig.
No, because the song is Rock Me Amadeus.
Oh. I don't know that song.
Come on and rock me, Amadeus.
No.
Oh, it's like a great 80s tune.
Oh, I knew you were going to say 80s. I knew it.
Well, yeah, because some of the 80s probably had some of the best modern era music of all time.
The 80s?
And I'm talking from the 50s to now. I feel like the 80s was, they
Is it
pushed.
because you grew up in the 80s?
No, because I feel like they pushed the envelope more than any other decade, any other era. They pushed the limits more.
So you're gonna be annoyed by me because I already pushed the button. But are you excited about Iron Maiden?
No,
Okay, I didn't think so because you didn't bring it up.
no, I'm
so
not.
they just announced a headliner at Aftershock, which is a concert festival we go to every year, and they announced Iron Maiden, and you didn't say anything, and I was like, so it must not be.
But let me have ever been like super excited about any headliner that's at Aftershock.
Not yet, but I'm saying if it would have been Bring Me the Horizon, you would have been like, holy
I'd
crap.
have lost my mind.
Right.
But Bring Me the Horizon doesn't have the pull, so they're never going to be a headliner in
Does
the
Iron
States.
Maiden have the pull? I don't
Yes.
know.
They've been
Do I know one of their songs?
They were probably one of two, maybe three bands that started heavy metal.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a big deal.
Yeah, but they've been around. I feel like
Wait, are they like
They're
GNR old?
they're older.
Holy crap. How are they going to... Who's rocking out with them when they're 110?
Well, they got. It's kind of like a marionette. Like
Oh,
they have strings up top, just moving them around. No, but really, Iron Maiden. Yeah, I do like some of their songs. And do you know who would be probably really excited and really bummed to hear me say this is Dave Rappa. He's a Iron Maiden fan. But no, some of the best like punchy bass lines and everything really started kind of the hard rock metal. People like them and Judas Priest and those type of thing. GNR was a little bit after them. Like these guys have been around since like the 70s.
So I'm I know, again, off track. I'm super confused by the people in like the Aftershock chat who are like, I know the ones that are joking, but the amount of people who have like legit wanted Green Day, and I'm like, are they back?
Yes. Green Day is back.
Okay. I was like, what's the last time Green Day had a song? And
It's been a while.
and it was hecka whiny the last time they had songs.
but
Like
they
who
have
wants
been
Green Day?
announcing that they're going to do some stuff.
Ah, got
So
it.
there is a.
Okay.
I thought
I was confused.
somebody said, "Yay for Taylor Swift 2 days." I saw that, and they were joking, but I feel like somebody else didn't think they were
Yeah.
joking, and then somebody's offended, and I'm
Everyone's
like,
always offended.
I was like, it's Taylor Swift.
Someone else said the Wiggles, and I was like, "You bringing some rock Wiggles? I'm in."
Oh, seriously, do you know who should be on? Who should be not just headline but play? Demi Lovato.
I don't know if they can get her
Why?
because it's too hot. Just kidding.
Hot outside.
Yeah.
No, she's from California, right? Central Valley.
Is she?
I don't know.
I was like, the only people who can perform out there are from the Central Valley. Everyone
true.
else is like dying.
No, but it was just everybody's trolls are gonna troll.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Iron Maiden. I was like, no, I remember. I think I had one album of theirs, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son.
That's a movie with Nash Bridges.
Yeah, it was way after this.
Nash Bridges?
Okay, I don't know what you're saying. Like Nash Bridges was a show. I thought
Somebody Bridges. Jeff Bridges.
Nash Bridges.
I got half right. That's
but that
pretty
was, but that's also it's lore of like I can't remember what it was. Some god, seventh son of a seventh son. But that came out well after an album.
Well, yeah, they're 110. Of course it did.
Yeah, I think they're mid to late 70s when they started. So yeah,
watching a movie from the 80s. It was like damn many Christmas.
Yeah, it's gonna be different, but I'm not a fan. Let's just say that
You're not gonna go.
No, if it was the 80s, I would probably, if Iron Maiden was playing, I'd probably like, oh, I'd go see them, but not in 2023.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that this year next year they do like an old headliner, like old people headliner, and like a new person headliner.
They did that this year.
Who?
They had small stages going on while the headliner was going on. We just didn't go.
Who else headlined?
What do you mean? Like when when Guns N' Roses were playing, the small stage was going too.
Oh, is that considered a headliner? I just thought whoever's name was the biggest.
Yeah,
they were the headliners.
That is the headliner. They play at the end of the night, but the smaller bands were playing at the same time.
Who was it though?
Who knows? I don't know who they were.
That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be somebody who has a draw and a pull.
No, because then what?
I'm confused.
Then you're pulling people away from Guns N' Roses.
But that's what I mean.
That doesn't make any sense. No, as somebody who puts on events, that's insane. I don't want to pull to two different areas. You want everybody in one area.
No, there's so many friggin' people. I would rather split it. There's like
but when it comes to
60,000 people there.
When it comes to organizing an event,
I know
the other
what
stages
you're
need to be
saying.
moved, cleaned. Everything needs to
know.
be set up. So you can't have two of them going on because then you have to have double the manpower
Yeah,
at any given moment.
I get what you're saying.
Like it costs double.
But they're probably going to still split it next year, right? It's not just going to be Iron Maiden. They can't do 4 days.
No, they're set on the post. It's Saturday.
Oh, I didn't read it.
Saturday is Iron Maiden.
Okay, cool.
That's what they.
Fingers crossed for younger people. Woo!
And the Wiggles.
And the Wiggles.
No, I don't go for the headliner. I don't think we've stayed and we watched Metallica from a ways away
As
for a
we
little
were
while.
walking out.
Yeah, and that was about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I saw them in 1987 and 88 like 4 times.
Dang, I was 3 and 4.
At the same time.
Well,
I
said
see
2
what you're
years, so
I did.
respectively,
Respect.
as people like to
My
say.
nose is tickly.
Yeah, I know you keep touching it. All right, let's re-up. Do I hit the button again so people know what we're doing?
Yeah, do it.
Okay.
It's not
Salud.
enough.
Cheers.
Advise me not.
And this is why I push the button.
I couldn't.
Because you push the button, then you take the shot.
Bailee's here.
You know?
So the
you
issue
push the button,
was-
take the shot, so there's no dead air.
The issue was
But you take the shot, bloop, 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 and then push the button.
I used the wrong hand. I used my right hand to do everything, and that didn't
Your
work out well.
dom hand?
My dom hand.
Yeah.
All right.
Family.
Here. Okay, so
All right,
do you want to
Bailee.
do your spiel?
Bailey's just here, just in time for our Advise Me Not spiel.
Yeah.
We're gonna change it up soon.
Okay.
We used to crowdsource like topics and those type of things. I like to get back into that and mix it up, because we're just literally, as we're picking the topics, you pick the topic. We're only talking about what we want to talk about.
But people are interested.
They are interested, yeah. Your narcissism is showing.
But they are. People engage in our conversation.
Yes, they do. All I'm saying is
I know.
I want to put it out there, Sarah and Scooter at gmail.com, Sarah and Scooter YouTube, Sarah and Scooter Instagram. Send us a message if you have a topic that you feel should be discussed on some sort of podcast that is not. And just know that we're not experts on it. We just have a strong opinion about everything. And we have some life experience. But right now, Advise Me Not is, I have no idea. It's blank, always blank. At least recently it's been blank.
Mine is 2 today, so it's fine.
Oh, God. And Sarah picks a topic that she comes up with usually right before the show. It looks like it's going to happen now. And then we go for there.
Okay, so again, disclaimer. I have nothing written down, so there's no advice. This is just a conversation today.
That's normally how it starts, and then
Okay.
it becomes advice.
Okay. The phrase that has been happening a lot that I am struggling with is "you're not hearing me."
Whoa.
And
I literally said that last night
yes,
in kind of a huff. And now we're going to bring it up live air
yes.
instead of having a discussion about it. No,
Well,
we did.
we did have a discussion. That's
No.
why I'm bringing it up.
We did actually have a one-on-one
Because
discussion.
it's just not you who said that in this house. Like, multiple people have said it. And I feel like, thanks, Car. I feel like the statement of "you're not hearing me" is like such a hard statement to hear, because not
And I'm
only
not hearing. Specifically, I said, I feel like I'm not being heard in this house.
Yeah.
And I said it, but I've said it directly. I didn't say in this house to you. I said, I feel like I'm not being heard.
No,
And
you said in this house.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it I'm tired of not being heard? I get some of that.
It's a lot of "you're not hearing me." Right?
Yeah.
So, but I think the hard part is it hurts to hear you say it, because it hurts to hear you hurt, but also it hurts because I'm letting you down. Right? And so I think that, and if you would have said it any other way, like, man, you're just not listening. Not listening and not being heard are two completely different things. When someone says, "I'm not being heard," you're not doing your job. That's what I hear. Like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And when we had the conversation, I'm hearing you say it, and I'm like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, kind of, but not enough. Because if I was, you wouldn't feel that way, right? So the whole conversation is to how to hear someone and not just listen to them. How to actually hear what they're saying. How to actually, when they say something like that, how are you able to pull out what is actually going on and what do they need from you? Because I feel like for a long time, when you would say that, I'd be like, okay, I think this is what you want me to do. Because it wasn't always like, I'm not being heard, this is what I want and need. It was like, I'm tired of not being heard. And sometimes I'd be like, can you tell me what that is? And you're like, well, if I have to tell you, or like if we have to go deeper, then I'm like, okay, so I think it's this. And then I feel like I would change things and do something different. But you would still feel like you're not being heard. And I'm like, freaking hey, I am not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And then today we had the conversation of, this is what I'm talking about. And I was like, you are so right. You are 100% correct. You are not being heard. I am not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not doing my part.
I appreciate the crap out of you just saying that.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate you telling me that's what you meant. Because I didn't know. Like, I truly didn't know that that's what you meant. And then when you said it, I was like, oh, you're so right. I do it all the time. Ugh. And it's this weird ebb and flow of, again,
that is your phrase.
it is that and say less of, you think that, like, you get in this moment of, I feel like I'm doing okay for as many people as I can. But then you realize when you're up here, there's people who you're not bringing with you, who you're not giving the same attention here. And then you're like, well, now I have to give them more attention. And then here we are again. And it's this like, woo. But when somebody has that moment with you of like, it's been long enough. Like, I've been in the bottom for too long. And I need to have the conversation with you of, I'm not being heard. And this is what I need. So I don't know how we're going to talk about that, but that's the conversation today.
Well, and I don't want to make this like, we did have this conversation and I was very specific.
Yes.
And I think maybe that's what broke through. in an understanding, because and not that Sarah does this, okay, but it's like, it's when the phone rings and they put it to their ear and then they put their finger up. Just 1 second. But that happens a lot. That can be, and that's how his feeling was happening. It wasn't that drastic, but that's how I felt, was like, if the phone rings, our conversation's over. If somebody else texts you, our conversation's just done. That's how I was feeling. And I was very specific about that. I even named names. I was like, and then I also felt that I've said this in the past multiple times, and finally I was like, I'm tired of not being heard.
Yeah.
Because I was saying, when I feel, and I didn't say it happens all the time, but I said, I feel like when I call you, it goes to voicemail, and then you call me back because you're on the phone with someone else. But yet, when I can be on the phone with you, you go, hold on, somebody's calling me, and hang up. And I'm like, well, I felt like, well, that's kind of unbalanced. That makes me feel like I'm not as important as whoever else is calling, no matter who it is. And it's always a quote unquote, maybe it's an emergency. And I'm like, well, then something happened last night. And I'm like sitting there going, enough's enough. Like I'm with my wife, engaged in with my wife. Somebody calls and I'm just there. Yeah. And I was like, I think that was just the end of it. And I said that specifically. I was like, enough's enough. I was like, how many times do I have to say, don't pick up the phone, or I'm right here. I'm the one being present, you know? Yeah. And this is not, I'm not saying this is, I'm trying to defend what I was saying. I wanted to reiterate what we actually had this conversation earlier. Yeah. And I said almost verbatim what I just said. It was probably completely out of order.
Yes.
It was out of order.
No, it's pretty verbatim.
And then as we're saying this, as you're saying that and listening, Bailee's nailing it. Bailee comes in right at the greatest moment too. She's coming to say, listen to understand, not to respond.
Yes.
That is probably the most important phrase to practice in having a conversation with a person.
It's so hard. So hard.
Instead of, because we see it a lot. We have teenage children, adult children, all that kind of stuff. And when they become adults, they stop doing that.
Yeah.
They stop just listening to the words so they can respond or have a rebuttal.
Yes.
When they become actual real adults, they're listening. And they're like, I'm not coming up with a response. I'm just feeling what's going to happen. And I will have a response, but it's going to come from a place of communication and understanding and love, because you already were listening. But as young adults, and even a lot of adults, the first thing that they want to do is defend, get defensive, which are everybody's always defensive when you're having a conversation about feelings. But instead of coming up with reasons or defenses, you should be listening. What is that person saying?
Yes.
And you were listening to what I was saying.
Yes.
Today.
Don't get me wrong. In my head, I was like,
No, you said I don't understand. You totally said I don't understand what you're saying.
I did before you explained it. Before you explained it, I did say, because again, it's when you just hear somebody say, "I'm not being heard." In my mind, I'm like, you told me that you wanted these things. You wanted to spend more time. You wanted to hold hands. You wanted to do the things that we haven't been doing as often, right? Like dating basically again. So I'm like, so I implemented to do more of those things, and then you're still telling me you're not being heard. So I'm like, I'm missing something. Right. So tell me what do you, I don't understand. And then when you said that, you're like, and I'm like, you're right. I'm not doing, that is exactly what I'm doing. Didn't know that was what you were talking about.
Right.
1%. I was like, yes, that is true. And the funny thing is in my head, I'm like, it's not 100%. And the sucky part is most people, like 99% of my calls, they get passed and then I call everybody back. But you don't, you just see the part where it's you feel like it's you all the time.
Well, and realistically, I mean, not, and it's not.
We're not going specific. I know.
You know the way that I work.
Yes.
I don't call you.
Right.
So if I call you, it's kind of important.
Yeah.
That's how I was like, I don't call you. I'll send you a text, wait for a response. Right. But if I'm calling you, there's a reason.
Yeah.
You know, either it's like, I need somebody to talk to, like
Right.
I really do. Or it's like, it's important. There's a decision needs to be made in the next 60 seconds and I need your input.
Yeah.
It's usually one of those two things when I call you.
And but I do really hope you know that I am trying to get off the phone. If you call me, I'm usually on the phone. I'm like, finish your story. And then I say, oh, okay, I got to call Scooter back. And then I call you back. It's never like, I'll get to it later. Like, I really hope you know that I'm not just like, it's whatever. It's just Scooter.
I do.
Like, I do try my best to get off the phone.
I do hear you on phone calls all the time.
Yes.
All the time. Right? And I know that you let people finish their story and then you call the other people back. When it's me, you goes, oh, someone's calling. I'll call you back. Click.
That's
And
see, defensive.
that has occurred with me more than once or twice. So not that you do it all the time, but it was like when I call, I'm a little bit different. When it comes to calling's not just a chit chat. Calling is either like I said, either I'm at the height of an emotion and I need to get it out and you're my person, or some sort of decision needs to be made.
Can I tell you right now? You do call me. You call me to chit chat. If you're leaving jujitsu, if you're getting in the car from the grocery store, if you're in the car whatsoever, you do call me to chit chat.
I'm at the height of my emotions and I need somebody to get this too. Okay, I don't have a Rebecca in my life.
Yeah.
I don't have somebody that I get to do that with. You're my person.
Right.
And that's it. That's the only person. You're pretty much the only person I call besides my kids.
Yeah.
I mean, so I just look at it that way. And I'm just saying that's on my flip side of it here. But so.
I like when you call me to chit chat. I mean, again, so
right after jiu-jitsu, I have to call you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
I just do. Like, it's just, I want to tell you how I got my butt kicked. It's the same story every time.
Yes.
Just might have different names in it.
Yeah.
Or different moves in it.
And then you come home and you show me the bruises with the same
and I go,
story.
look at this big bruise and this kind of thing. You know, it's like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
Like, I need somebody like that to have that conversation with. Because this makes me feel like, hey, I did something today.
Yeah.
I did something kind of cool in my eyes.
Yeah.
You're like, I really don't care. I don't want to see bruises and blood. But
I don't mind the bruises. No blood.
Right. But yeah.
But yes. But I felt like it was a good. But the other thing that's hard is that when you say you don't feel heard in this house, that it's not just me. Like, we have this thing
Right.
where, like, we've talked about it before, but the kids will tell me, like, most things.
True.
Like, almost everything. And then I have to relay it to you and remember to relay it to you. And I don't always do it very well. But I try. I mean, I do try. But I don't do it very well all the time.
That's a dynamic that, I mean, I accept 90% of that. I mean, I'm obviously not easy to talk to. I feel like I am to a lot of people, but not the human beings in this house for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people that do confide in me and come to me and say all these things, but the children in the house just, nope. I'm hoping we get past that.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see what happens, but so I have to own like 90% of that, right? Because I've been, quote unquote, their dad for over a decade.
Right.
You know, for everybody in this house, it's been at least half or more of their life.
Yes.
I mean, no, it's been more than half then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Lisa's 20.
Yeah. So everybody in this house has spent more than half of their life. I am the dad.
Right.
But a lot of times I am not seen as the dad. You're seen as the mom, and I'm still Scooter.
My dad was there all the time. I didn't tell my dad stuff, but I would tell my mom.
But I think we talked about you and me and your dad being very similar as it was back then.
Yeah.
Do you ever think that maybe he had the same feelings I'm having right now, just didn't know how to put it out there and say, hey, I'd like to be heard. I'd like for my kids to come talk to me and tell me stuff.
No.
You don't. You can say that about your dad, about his feelings, yet he loves it when Rebecca calls him. He loves it when you call him.
He does now.
He picks up the phone. That's what I'm saying.
He does now. But look.
At that point, back in those days, maybe did he not feel that and just didn't know how to get it out?
I mean, maybe, but to me, you're always available. Always available.
Now?
Here in this house, you're always available.
Yeah.
Text, call, whatever. My dad would literally come home from work and go in his room and close the door until dinner, and then eat dinner, and then watch TV. And if you want to talk to him, he'd shush you, and then go back in his room. Like, if he wanted to have conversation, he didn't make it obvious.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm not saying that he did it right or did it properly or knew what the hell he was doing.
Right.
Right? But that doesn't mean he didn't feel that way.
That's true. That could be fair.
People's reactions to things are usually not a direct reflection of what they're feeling.
So crazy as we go down this wonderful spiral. Maybe our kids don't see that you're that approachable as I think you are. Maybe they don't think you're approachable. Maybe they see you and they're like, he doesn't want to talk to us.
I talk to our kids realistically in a conversation more than you do.
No way.
Yeah, because they're called lectures. I really feel like they don't want that.
That's probably true.
They don't want the lecture. They
just
want
a conversation.
And we've talked about that before
Yes.
too. It's like they don't want a lesson every time.
Yes.
That there's like, oh, so I picked up a pen off the ground. Well, you know what you should do. What can happen with pens? But you don't want to know the history of pens? That's kind of who I am. And I was like, that is me.
That's true.
As a person,
Yeah.
That's who I am.
Yeah.
And not as a dad or anything, but as a person, that's who I am.
Yeah. That's not true. As a dad, that's who you are. As a person, that's not who you are.
Well, maybe that's why I'm a person as a dad.
Yeah.
Like I always want a lesson.
Yeah.
To be learned. So what was the topic again?
We were just talking about the statement of you're not hearing me or I just want to be heard. And the crazy thing is, and it's probably because you've said it, because the kids have said it also. But man, I'm just like, it gets said so frequently in this house that it just makes you feel like, is nobody feeling heard?
But here's I think this is my flip side.
Okay.
And this is not a defensive thing, but this is a perception thing of I talk a lot in this house.
Yes.
Right? I tell people and they know when I'm not happy with them. And they know when I want to talk to them. I just talk to them and go up and talk to them. So I also have to have this conversation of I feel like I'm not being heard, right? But I'm saying something. It's really hard for a person to be heard if they don't talk to me. How can I hear you if you're saying nothing?
So I will be devil's advocate.
Because they talk to you.
I'll be devil's advocate. Because sometimes they feel like they can't say anything because it's considered talking back. We've had that conversation too.
Yeah, we've had that.
But sometimes they feel like they can't say anything because it's feel like they're talking back.
Right. Well,
then they're stuck on, well, I'm not being heard because I can't say anything.
But have a conversation. Don't talk back. Because isn't that what we're saying right here? Like the intentionality is like listen to understand, not to respond. And if you're listening to respond, you're talking back. I mean, that's literally the definition of talking back. Like you're not hearing, you're not listening. You're just coming up with a defense, or you're argumentative, or instead of just staring at and you go, yeah. I'm like, that's talking back. Like, but it was like, if you said, "Hey, I don't agree with what you're saying. Can you want to hear what I'm saying?" Yes, I'd love to hear that. Instead of like, "No, that's not right." There's a big difference. There's a big jump from those two things.
Yeah.
And that's what we get in the house. That's what I get a lot of the times in those conversations. And even there's been some times where that comes from your side too. When I say something to you, it goes like, "Well, I feel like I am." And I'm like, "All right, I guess that's where we're going." And I'm just as snotty too. I really am. I'm just saying I can only tell you my experiences. I can't tell the experiences from your point of view. Because I know I'm snotty. I know that I have an attitude, and I know that I have this talk back defensive guard that's slowly coming down over the years, and it's taken a long
Holy
time.
moly!
What?
This is the guard coming down.
Oh, you've met people that know me in the past.
Woo! You're gonna be 100 before
No, I'm just saying, people that know me in the past,
turn to a marshmallow.
and they'll tell you it's like, no, you weren't easy to talk to. So yeah. So I don't know where we're going with that, but but realistically, it's like I do get that a lot in the house.
Yeah.
And when it comes to, I don't feel like I'm being heard, but you're not saying anything. And then it's the fact of, well, when I say anything, you consider it talking back. And I'm like, because it is talking back. Like if you have an attitude of I'm not listening, I'm just defending myself, that's literally talking back. And I think we had that conversation. I think our middle kid in the house, she said that. I was like, you haven't talked to me in months. Like I don't know how are you being heard. Well, I feel like you always say I'm talking back. And I was like, I've never said that you were talking back to me. Like ever in my whole life have I ever said to that human being, stop talking back.
I don't think so.
No, maybe once.
Yeah.
But so that human to use that argument against her, I was like, oh, hell no.
But I think it's
She saw it with other people.
right. That's what I mean.
They were talking back. Like we have one person that talks back the most.
Yeah.
One that talks back half the time. And then one that just barely would actually try and have a conversation first.
Yeah.
And they're not in order of age, operation, intelligence, anything. It's just that's who they are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I agree.
So I feel like sometimes using that statement can be a little overused.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting there like, you had a conversation with me like 15 minutes ago. Now you won't talk to me because you're afraid it's talking back. Like you literally just came home and told me about stuff.
But it's different though, because you want to respond again. So it's a weird thing of like when you feel like you're being attacked, of course you want to defend yourself.
Yes, that's a
because
natural reaction.
you can listen to what someone's saying and still want to defend yourself without it being talking back.
Right.
And sometimes you have to.
Well, there's a difference. You don't have to talk back to defend yourself. That is not true.
See, okay,
You
but
don't.
this is the issue with the phrase talking back is that no one knows. There's no like definitive this is it. As a human being who was told you can't talk back, there's no friggin' definitive line of this is, because if I say it today, I'm good. If I say it tomorrow and you're pissed off, it's talking back. If I say it in the same tone of voice that's super monotone.
So I think maybe what you're coming is there's a consistency that maybe needs to be known what is talking back, what's not.
Yeah, but I don't. But
I think I'm pretty consistent on what's talking back and what's not.
I don't know that I've ever heard the kids say what they meant, like true feelings about something, and it wasn't considered talking back.
Isn't that how you say it though?
Are you saying the tone of how they say it?
I don't think it's tone. I think it more has to do with the dialogue itself.
Maybe.
Like,
I don't know.
Like if somebody says, well, hey, I heard you were doing this. And you go, what? Well, that's a little harsh. Or you can go, what do you mean by that? Two completely different things.
I want to say it's been done both ways. And I feel like it's been a lot of you're talking back. Because it's a defending of my place and situation. And so it feels like a talking back moment. Because I'm like, not from what you've said. I've told them, well, like I've told CJ, well, you're talking back. Why? Because you are. because to me it felt like that.
Right.
Not that there was an actual reason that sometimes absolutely. But there are moments where even after I've said it, I'm like, I'm not sure. I just didn't like what you just said. So to me, that's considered talking back, when necessarily it could just be, I'm just trying to defend my position because this is the conversation that we're having. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing. I think about the same thing at work, when like your boss or something is saying something and you're like, well, that's not exactly how it happened. And they're like, this is not what we're doing at work. Now you're talking back. And you're like, well, it's not. You said something about me. I don't agree. So I'm trying to tell you what it is, but it's considered talking back. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing. I just have trauma from when I was a child. That's all. I still live with it. I hate and use the word talking back all the time. It's a terrible relationship. I don't know what to tell you.
I talk back to my parents all the time, and I should have got my butt kicked. Fact. I mean, and I recall those days going, no, that was just not a good way to communicate.
Right.
You know, because if I said that outside of my home, I did get popped in the mouth. I did get my butt kicked by other people.
Was that mean when you said it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, and we have that in the house here too. You get that mean. I was like, no. But also I'm looking like, because this started off as being heard.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand, how does somebody find a way to be heard without offending or making the other person aggressive or defensive?
I don't know.
Isn't that, I mean, but isn't
That's the goal.
Isn't that that's the struggle?
Right.
Isn't that the communication? Because I want certain things, and sometimes I don't know what they really are.
Yeah.
But I know how things currently make me feel.
Right.
So can we have that conversation without the other person go, I do that for you.
Yeah.
I thought I did. You know, it's like, that becomes an argument instead of like
a conversation.
Hey, we need to have a conversation because we want this to work.
Right. Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
So there are some times you're a little bit more specific.
Yes.
I need this and I need it now.
Yeah.
There are some times when you get vague, that's when I get scared. Realistic, because either you don't know what you really want, or you don't want to tell me what you really want.
Don't want to hurt your feelings.
And I'm like, I'd rather you just tell me, like, instead of saying, well, somebody's got to do it. I'm like, oh, okay. Why don't you
Are you talking about the cardboard again?
Oh, no.
Okay.
I mean,
I feel like I'm definitely not heard about that dang cardboard.
No.
Okay.
It's just in general.
Yeah.
It's like, but I feel like,
Be specific.
no, the cardboard, I know that's a soft,
Touchy subject.
Yeah, it is touchy. But also there's a lot of things in here. Is like, I feel like if I let the dishes, because I do dishes consistently.
Yes.
I do laundry consistently.
Yes.
If I was falling behind, would you tell me I'm falling behind?
No, I would just do the laundry and do the dishes.
Yeah, and then I'd be like, oh, well, that's not okay. I'm not doing my job. But no, I just feel like that's a type of communication. But if you wanted me to do something, would you ask me to?
I think on some things, other things, I would just do it.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think I would fester and be like, man, I can't believe he didn't do the thing I didn't ask him to do. I don't really do that. I just get up and do it myself.
But with the communication with us, somebody, I was like, what? Okay, that was so much dead air.
Well, I thought you were
You
thinking.
just stopped. I was thinking. So when I'm thinking and not talking, that means you're supposed to talk.
Oh, we should edit that out.
We.
Yeah.
Who's we?
We should do that.
Here, Scooter, fix all of these things.
I don't know that so if I feel like I'm not being heard, I think I get really annoyed. And then I say, I don't ever think I've ever said I'm not being heard. I think I just say, I would like for you to do this.
You just stop talking.
That's past. That's like where I'm real mad. But that's not because realistically, if I stop talking, it's because I've asked for something and it didn't happen. And then I've asked and it didn't happen. And now I'm just annoyed. It's not so much.
Yeah.
So I guess it is I'm not being heard, but I don't say it. I guess you're right. I just stop talking. Or I do it myself. Man, deep dive.
Is it?
Yeah.
I feel like it's just the.
So let me ask you a question. So
Uh-oh.
if instead if
Do I need another beer?
nah. So instead if I didn't go silent and I said I'm not being heard, would that get you to do the thing I've asked you to do already?
You have to repeat that. I checked out. Say it again. That was like there was a lot of steps.
So if I've already asked you to do things multiple times. So instead of getting silent and just doing it myself, if I told you that I'm not being heard, would that get you to get up and do what I've already asked you to do?
Oh God, yes.
So then I feel like the phrase just gets thrown out. Then what's the point of the phrase?
Not just not being heard. You could say, "Hey, I did ask you to do this. Could you make sure and take care of that today?"
I've done that.
What?
That's like the third time I've asked.
Mm-mm.
Yes. I'll bring up the cardboard again. I get asked the cardboard like 4 times in a row, and you're like, yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I'll do it. And then nothing ever happens to the cardboard.
Because you always do it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Because no one else is doing it. It's the same with the dishes in the laundry, though. Right? Like,
Is it?
yes.
What do you mean?
If nobody did it, I would do it.
True. But
That's
somebody does it.
Right. But no one does the cardboard, so I do it.
Okay. So why is that on me?
Because it's your cardboard. Because it's your cardboard. It's 99.9% of your boxes out there.
I mean,
That's why.
dishes aren't all mine either.
No, but you choose to do the dishes.
That's because if I don't do the dishes, they don't get done.
They will get done.
No, they don't get done. They don't get done on a consistent basis. It might be 3 or 4 days before they actually get done.
I would do them if they weren't done. When I do dinner,
Sweetheart, I love you.
I would do them, but I
Okay.
don't have to. It's the same with laundry. Same with cardboard, apparently. You don't have to, so you don't do the cardboard.
Right.
Okay, let's do a bonus round.
So who's being heard here? Anybody? Is anybody
You.
getting anything out of this?
You were heard.
I'm not getting anything
You
out
were
of
heard
this.
today. I have learned I need a shut off time. That's what I learned
What do
today.
you mean?
I need a true shut off time from work.
We've been talking about that for years.
I haven't been doing this for years.
Yes, you have.
Not for it was never this bad. I've never worked this much in my life.
But it's been a good 2 years.
Yeah, but I did shut off before. It was never this bad. I would work late on a Monday or a Tuesday because that was cutoff day, and that was
You'd
it.
say I'm working late on Monday because now I'm like, oh, shit. This is how it started. Was like Mondays and Tuesdays. I knew you were not going to be down here till late.
Yeah.
Till 9 at the earliest. And now it's every day.
It's not every day, but it is like
It's
4 days out of the
at
week.
least-
4 out of 5.
At least.
Yeah.
And
No.
and I don't even know which days those are going to be.
Can I just say this? We're going to just get air all our dirty laundry. So the other issue that you have is that like when work is done, there's not a set time. So I'm just like, I just come downstairs and I'm like, I'm done with work. And
I
you're
know.
like, well, I'm not done.
I know
I'm like,
what's one of those things of like, hey, I'll be done at 9:30. I was like, cool, I can get all my stuff and make sure that I'm done at 9:30 and we converge. But instead, you come down at 9:30 and go, I'm done. And I'm like, well, crap, I'm in the middle of editing something right now. So I can't really just be done. But I could have not started that project and been done by 9:30.
but there's also days where I'm like, I'm not going back to work after dinner. And you're like, I'm doing things. And like, okay. So then I sit on the couch and you're not done till like 11.
Because I plan to do certain things.
Right. But my question.
I plan them, you don't.
But I don't know when you're done.
Do you want me to me have a set time to when I'm
Yes, let's both have
And
a
then-
set time to when we're done.
done? Okay. Good luck.
Let's both be done.
Because
We're done. That's it. We're out of here.
and
You heard it here first.
I also don't want to pull you away from the people that you work with, but I was like, it is one of those things. Like you do get phone calls at like 11 o'clock at night that are work related.
Yeah.
And hey, maybe I'd like to hook up with my wife once in a while. You know?
Why?
Well, I'm just saying. Sometimes, you know,
Yes,
There-
we will make set
having
stop times.
having a sock on the door or a tie on the door or a do not disturb is kind of important. You know, because it's important.
I agree. Not to raise your voice.
You know,
Anyways,
because we don't have small children anymore,
no.
so there's none of the random. You know,
Yeah.
in the middle of the night, but sometimes there still is
It's true.
from adults, and she feels the need to answer the phone.
If your kid calls at 1 a.m. and you don't, and they're not home,
But that's we don't want to go there.
but that's what I'm going to say. If somebody called me at 1, if somebody called you at 1, you would answer the phone.
I would, because the people that call me, they call me when it's an emergency.
But you don't know until you pick up the phone. That's it.
But the conversation that happened,
It was not an emergency.
that-
I know that.
could it have been a text?
Yes.
Okay.
But you don't know that when the phone's ringing.
Right. I feel like
I
that's
wouldn't.
that's setting boundaries.
Okay.
Maybe next week we'll talk about how to set proper boundaries.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Because I'm okay with setting boundaries. What are we even doing?
We're gonna do bonus round.
Ugh.
Boom. And then we're going to bed. Bonus round.
So realistically, like,
Mhm.
we're going to bed?
No. I'm actually very awake today. I think 'cause I didn't work all day.
You did work. You just didn't, like,
No, I was gone
work
for
for
like
your company.
4
Like,
hours. I had to take the car to get. Okay, let me just say this as I'm looking through questions. So we have a Kia, and if you don't know this, Kias can be stolen like a certain year.
No,
And
hold on. We bought a Kia for our daughter.
yes,
Now go to the next part.
so we bought a Kia. I mean, why did that change the story?
I'm just saying, because everything that needed to be done on the Kia, we did.
Well, it's ours.
So
It's in our name.
Just saying.
Anyways, so Kia has this thing where you can do like an anti-theft software update thing, right? So they do some kind of update to the system, and then so that people don't steal it, they put stickers on the window that says it's been updated. Please don't steal this car. So that's where I had to go today. But I just thought, and I asked them, I was like, can you just convert this to like a push to start so that we don't even have to worry about the key issue? And they're like, no. I was like, well, like, thank you for
Why
my
can't they?
thank you for my really expensive sticker.
But why can't they?
I don't know. They say they don't do it there. I was kind of annoyed because I just felt like that seems like a better solution than putting a sticker on my window saying, hoping somebody reads the sticker before they break the window and try to steal the stupid car.
Well, I mean, they obviously came and watch a YouTube or whatever they're watching to get trained to steal the
God,
car
these
because
friggin'
they
idiots.
failed twice.
Twice.
So they can't even finish the full video on how to actually complete the theft, because I'd much rather the car be gone,
Oh, 100%.
totaled out,
Yes.
so we could buy something that's not a Kia.
And then Kia had the friggin' nerve. So while you sit there, I'm sure people don't care, but while you sit there and get your car repaired, they send you a text message that says, hey, if you want to know how much your car's worth, if you trade it in, go ahead and click this button.
$14.
I was like,
$14. Do you
get
know
the F out of here.
it's the price of an iPhone adapter? $14.99.
You know what? I must say it wasn't the worst because it was like between $5,000 and $8,000, which isn't completely terrible
We paid double.
for a car that keeps getting stolen.
Double. We paid double for that car.
But depreciation, I'm obviously
No,
not.
theft. It's not depreciation. It's theft.
I know nobody wants
Because we
it.
bought it like a year ago, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
That there's no way a
Did we
used
buy it for
car
12?
depreciates in half.
It
in
does
2
for
years.
a car that keeps getting stolen.
Literally what I just said.
Where are you going?
I was gonna go get a beer
Oh, I'm at the van.
because this is a really long one.
Okay.
You're talking and pulling me into the conversation. I'm really trying to.
Well, we're just gonna do these and then we're done. Do you want some water? Okay, I'll do my question. What? I tried not to, but we ran late on the show. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received? Did we? Did I pull from the wrong side? I don't think we have. So mine was at a point. The best what? Oh, best compliment. No, this is the best piece of advice. So mine was before I met Scooter, I was a very unhappy person. Not mean, probably a little mean, but really just not okay and happy with where I was. And I was talking with my aunt, and she is very preachy, and I love her for it. Like she is my, if I ever need, like, I need to get back on the straight and narrow with God, she points me in the right direction, basically. And so she was saying, I was scared to leave the situation I was in because I felt like I was failing God, basically. And I was feeling like my commitment. And she was like, Sarah, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're not taking care of yourself and you're not happy with where you're at, then how can you show the kids anything different? How can you help anybody else? How can you take care of the kids if you're not even taking care of yourself? And I was like, thanks. That was the best advice ever. And it was literally, I think I say it all the time. I think I even tell the kids that at this point. I'm always like, how can you take care of anybody if you're not taking care of yourself? I try to remember that, but there are some days where I forget to take care of me. But anyways, that was my best advice. How about you?
Just like that, huh?
Can I try your beer?
Yeah, you can.
Thanks.
What was the question again? Because you just stabbed me. She literally stabbed me.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I've received a lot.
Best. Oh, this is good.
So out of all of them, I have to come up with the best. That was a really good one because I don't know if I think you at the beginning of our relationship you kind of pushed that on me.
Yeah.
Because you were also in that situation.
Yes.
Right. And I think the way you presented it to me was different. It was more of like, you need to be alone for a while.
You did need to be alone for a while.
And be happy with yourself first. But I feel like that's where it was coming from.
Yes.
It was coming from, I mean, at that point, it was like, whoa, okay. I guess if I'm going to date this human being, I need to be alone.
It's true.
Good thing I had good friends at that point in my life. I had my Willie. I know that sounds weird.
That's a weird.
His actual name is Willie Zimmers.
Yeah.
I did have my good friend Willie. He was there for those kind of things. Best piece of advice I've got. I use so many. Like most of the things that I say that I live by, like I've only made up like 2.
What's your favorite?
That I've made up or somebody
No,
gave
someone
me?
else gave you. It's received, not given.
I don't. It depends on what. I don't know. Maybe that was it. Because that was kind of my
advice to you was the best one.
It was kind of it was my turning point.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody knows me, that was like a very strong turning point. I mean, we talked about that 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
With the 6 people that were on the show.
Call back.
Just name them all and win some prizes. No, but I really, because that was mentioned then. It was like there was a thing of, not that you were like a goal, but I don't know if that was the statement that actually got me there, but it was more of a, you need to get your stuff together. Otherwise you can't have a relationship.
Yeah.
Period. Let alone with me.
Right.
I'm like, oh, all right. So I don't know if that was the best.
Man, I was wise back then. I think I just stole it from that there, brother.
Yeah, you literally stole it from somebody
else. I just regurgitated it to put in different words. Meaner.
Yeah, they were a lot more abrupt, but they were definitely they were that harsh. But I don't know. But any advice, like work advice, life advice? I don't know. It's just that's so vague. To me, that's vague.
It's your question.
No, I pulled these off the internet. You picked it out of the box. It's not random.
Well,
You
'cause
chose it because
okay.
when you choose a question out of the box, you obviously have an answer for it.
I did have an answer. That's
right.
Why
That's why you pulled it out of the box.
The funny thing is, I don't remember what I gave you, so I might
Good.
not have an answer
I'm
for you.
glad. Maybe I should get to choose one then.
Never.
So best piece of advice. I don't know.
Don't eat white snow.
Go big or
yellow
go
snow.
bigger. That was my first one.
Yeah. Did someone tell you that, or just advice you gave?
I think somebody said that once. But I have my own advice. Mine are probably my best ones.
Oh gosh, go ahead.
My advice transitioned from eat less, move more. Remember that?
Yeah, that was a good one.
But that came from Living Color.
Yeah.
Like that. So when I heard
diet
that, I was
plan.
like, that's hilarious
Yeah.
and too on the nose. And then it evolved to me. It was like, eat better, move more.
Yeah.
And then I evolved it to eat better, move better.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, oh, so you can evolve your.
So have you been doing that?
No,
Okay, just
no, I haven't been eating enough realistically.
and moving it all.
And I haven't been moving much at all.
Man, I have been trying to stretch because I've been so stiff lately. My poor hips sitting way too much. Wiggle, wiggle. All right, your turn.
So yeah, that was one. Go bigger has always been one. And I think, I don't know, when it comes to business, and I've said this before, and I think my dad told me this. He said it with a cuss word. But he's like, you got to always act like you know what you're talking about.
You do that.
And you have to actually know what you're talking about.
Ooh. You don't do that.
I'm pretty confident.
You definitely always act like you know what you're talking about.
And I've researched the information and given that, and then I act like I know what I'm talking about, and then go, huh, I got the wrong information. So yes, I have been wrong about many, 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 many things, but I did research it before I got preachy about it.
Yeah.
And then found out I got some bad info.
That's funny.
So I have been there before.
Oh,
okay?
I have to give you. So my best advice that I give people, and the one I gave you, I say it to the kids and all their friends. This moment is a blip in your timeline. Don't let it derail you.
You can't say that.
I do.
The MCU.
No, I said it before the MCU.
Blip.
I said it before the MCU.
You're gonna lose like 5 years of
It's
your
whatever
life.
it is.
Gone.
But I always remind them of that when they're going through something and there's like, I don't want to do this. It sucks right now. And I'm like, this is like the smallest blip in your timeline. It's going to go by so fast and you're not even going to notice
But
it.
it's also one of those, that's also almost the same thing as me saying, you'll understand better when you're older.
No, mine's better.
It's the same thing.
No.
Is it not?
No, it's not the same.
After you've gone through it, you're like, it's not so bad.
That's not the same. All right, what's your question?
Okay. In your opinion, what are some of the best TV shows ever made?
Didn't know that was the question I gave you.
I didn't pick this.
Yeah. Castle. My favorite TV show.
What just
It's
happened?
Nathan Fillion.
I know who Nathan Fillion is. I mean, you're not a huge fan of his.
What? Castle and the Rookie? Like 2 of the best shows he's ever done.
He has like 5 other ones. You know that, right?
I said 2 of the best.
You've watched the other ones too?
And then Firefly, of course.
You've seen that.
Yes, I've seen
The
Firefly.
whole series
yes.
and the movie.
Yes. Multiple times.
What about Dr. Horrible?
I didn't watch that. You kept telling me to watch it. I couldn't do it. Sing along blog.
Yeah.
Nah.
Amazing.
I know
Nathan
that.
Fillion's amazing.
You're not going to like what I'm about to say. I don't know if I like NPH.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Because you're wrong. I love MPH. Not like adore him like an icon. He's no freaking Keanu Reeves.
Right.
Right. But I was like, I do love his artistry and the things that he can depict.
Did we have this question already?
I don't remember.
Avatar Last Airbender.
That's pretty good.
Best one. Literally the best show of all
Pretty good.
times.
That's pretty good.
And they're making a live action.
They're trying to figure that out.
No, they're almost done. It's almost airable.
They've
2024.
but nobody in the original
I know.
they left.
I'm
project.
scared
So
of.
I'm scared.
What's her face? The sister.
Why?
The mean sister. What's her name? Zuko and
I don't know why.
because she looks too happy.
What do you mean, in the pictures, or you've seen the
The
live?
stills, yeah.
Like you've seen her acting, or just
Yeah,
some?
no, I've seen her acting.
8x10 glossies.
No. I've seen her like dressed up in character stills.
I mean, but sometimes Smiley is scarier.
She doesn't have the scary smile. She doesn't have like she might murder you in the sleep face.
Hmm.
The cartoon person definitely
Freddy
had
Krueger.
I'll kill you in your sleep face.
I know, but you said kill you in the sleep. I was like, that's Freddy Krueger
Ah,
stuff.
same thing.
That's
All right,
different.
you didn't say what I've named like 4.
Oh, me? Of all time.
Just say last 5 years.
Oh,
Oh,
ever made.
Warehouse 13.
I was thanks. Because that was next.
Oh, okay, I agree.
Well, that was mine. So thanks. No. I'd have to say goodness.
You should stick with Warehouse.
I can.
You should. It's so good.
Oh, but let's say of all time. No, just say best TV shows ever made. Reservation Dogs.
Oh yeah, you love that one.
It's very, very current, and it really is phenomenal. It's weird. It's quirky. It even has some sci-fi-ish kind of stuff going on. You're like, this is amazing. It has some fantasy stuff in there, but it's also like really rooted in. It takes on some real actual issues.
Yeah.
At the same time. And I was like, I love shows that could do that and do it to where it's entertaining and it's smart.
Agreed.
And phenomenal. Realistically, I think finally I'm gonna go with current, because right now I think society has, at least entertainment, people who watch the regular entertainment have finally gotten smarter, because we've dealt with watching like Star Trek for all these years and Star Wars, and now MCU's been around 12 years now, whatever, like that. So Loki is killing
I knew you were gonna say Loki.
it.
Yeah.
Killing it. Because if you watched it 10 years ago, I think as a society I was like, you wouldn't get it.
Right.
As
Firefly.
right, that's why Firefly didn't do well.
Right.
But most shows that put time travel in it, people are confused unless they keep it super simple.
Yeah.
But also, I feel like as viewership, the nerds, like in the 80s, I loved all the nerdy, weird shows because I was reading comic books.
Right.
So comic books were already doing the weird stuff. So now that that's kind of normal, I feel like we get shows like Reservation Dogs. If you actually watch it from the beginning to the end, it takes on so many cultural issues, a lot of Native American real history and problems and current problems that are going on.
Yeah.
But it also mixes in fantasy, sci-fi, some really stupid funny stuff, a lot of sexual innuendos that are really stupid and funny, but the underlying lessons are really, really like, get you in the gut. And of course, Million Little Things.
Oh, that's a good one.
Sorry
Need some
about
water.
that. Yeah, maybe. You're just trying to shut me up.
Oh, you hit the buzzer?
All right, that's fine.
I was just trying to
No,
save
but-
your life.
Yeah, but back in the day, and then I revisit some of the old shows that I used to sneak up and watch.
Captain Planet. No?
No.
Just me? All right. Just checking.
I said old shows.
That's heck old.
I was literally talking about like Sanford and Son.
Oh, that's like ancient.
Because if you watched it, and I'd go back and try and revisit some of them again, because I didn't get it as a kid.
Right.
But then you watch it again, you go, oh my God.
Yeah.
That they've been attacking these social issues since the 60s and 70s
We still have them.
on TV.
Yeah.
And yet now, in 2023, you can't.
Right. Oh, could you imagine? There's no friggin' way.
Could you? The stuff that they said.
Would never.
Good Times. Oh, Martin. Oh.
Could never.
So those kind of, just say it. There's some of those shows that, yeah. I don't even think my parents knew I was watching these shows, obviously.
I mean, one of them definitely wouldn't like it.
Mm-mm. Which one? I don't know.
I mean, we do. Well, thanks, guys.
For what?
That's it. We done.
Okay, we're just gonna at the end reiterate.
What? Rebecca said there's a disclaimer on Rush Hour.
Yes, there is.
What? What's the disclaimer?
The disclaimer says this film came out in a certain time and something about the jokes. It has something to do with this disclaimer of like it was written at a different time, so
Don't be offended.
don't be offended.
Damn it.
Something to that effect. I can't remember. It's a lot more.
I just feel like you have to put
I've seen
on
that.
every show
You'd have-
then because they were okay.
But let's talk about Rush Hour, and then the South Park's still on.
Right.
But they're also South Park is banned in some states and some countries. But
That's
no, it's like,
weird.
I think it's better that it has a disclaimer on it than they
Just ban it.
they just get rid of it.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
because I feel like that's what they're doing. I mean, we can get on this high horse all you want. Put a disclaimer at the beginning of these books
Yeah.
instead of just getting rid of the books.
Yeah.
That makes
I don't
no
understand
sense.
that either.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Music, same way. It's like it's okay to have a disclaimer.
I'm just like, they don't listen to it and don't watch it. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
It's totally fine.
Like, when did. Anyways, this is the end of the show, not the beginning.
I know, but
Next
it is very
episode.
true. But no, seriously,
Disclaimers.
go back if you're really interested in that kind of stuff. Go back to like the '70s shows. Go watch Shaft.
Ooh.
Go watch Sanford and Sons. Go watch Good Times. Watch those shows. You want to talk about current issues that are still happening right now? They were talking about them back then.
Yeah.
This is 50 years ago
It's crazy.
on TV, and we're still doing it.
I wonder if there's a disclaimer on them. Now I want to know.
I wonder because I don't think they never went. Actually, it was the '80s that had a lot of bad, like a lot of gaslighting and a lot of seemed like a lot of abuse.
How come Mad Men got to stay on?
Well, because that was like almost a timepiece. Because they set it in the 50s, right? Was it
Yeah.
the 50s? So they like, this is how they
Rush
were.
Hour was set in the 90s.
This
That's
is how
what
they
it
were in
was.
the 50s. This is how they were in the 50s.
But that's how it wasn't when Rush Hour was made. Why would you need a disclaimer?
It's kind of my whole point.
That's weird.
So I at least say, you know, like,
Huh.
so they, yeah.
I
put it
don't
on
like
there.
that. I think that's weird.
I think we're smarter than that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hoping we're smarter than that.
Apparently not.
But I just feel, you know, me as like the pendulum
Right.
can't.
Keeps
you just-
on going back and
if you
forth.
go too far at either side, you're
Yeah.
going to ban something.
Right.
I don't like that.
Weird.
All right.
All right.
So other than that,
That's it. We'll see you
That was
guys
the end of the show.
next week.
or we'll see.
It's a good end beginning of the show.
Yeah, beginning and
Beginning and you like my shirt?
All right,
Tell
babes.
Polly Mom. That's where our kid goes.
like my shirt. Sleep token. This is a gift from Moriah. Sleep token. One of the best bands ever.
Yeah. They were pretty good.
Phenomenal.
I don't know about best. I mean,
One of the top 50.
all right, get out of here.
All right.
We're gonna go play Rock Band on
No, we're
live.
not.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, I think you said we're going to bed.
Rock Band.
Oh, do they have any Limp Biscuit?
Ooh,
Because I thought we were going to bed.
break stuff.
Right? Oh, did it all for the nookie.
Oh, jeez.
And I loved it. Bye.